After scaling over 120 businesses beyond 6 figures using Instagram and processing more than 2 million Instagram DMs, I've broken it all down into a simple 3-step system that works every single time. You're constantly seeing these coaches pop off on Instagram and scaling their business to multiple 6 figures every single month, and you're wondering how they're actually doing it and still have time to push out all that content. And today I'm going to show you the exact blueprint that we have used with every single one of these clients, and it never failed us once. Trust me when I say this is by far the best and most scalable system that you can use to make bank on IG in 2026. And I promise you will be surprised how easy it actually is. Literally everyone can use this to scale their business. And this system works whether you're selling coaching, consulting, courses, basically any type of high ticket offer where you're booking calls from the Instagram DMs to close the deals. Now here's the thing, most business owners are already doing parts of this system, and I'm pretty sure that you do too. But it only really works if you follow every single step and nail each one of them. And that's when you unlock the true power of the system and scale to multiple 6 figures per month without burning out. And now let's jump into the board and I'll walk you through step by step. And this is all it really needs. It consists of 3 main steps, which I call the Attract, Connect, Convert framework, and I will guide you through every single step, what they do and how they actually work and how you really nail them to scale your business. So let's start off with the Attract step. Attract simply means getting more leads. This is the first step of every single business to scale them and to get revenue. If you have no leads, you can make no money, and that should not be a surprise to any of us. So getting more leads on Instagram can happen in 2 different ways. It can be through content or it can be through ads. Most of the times our clients use a combination of both. However, usually we see 70 to 80% towards content and 20 to 30% towards ads. However, we also have clients that run purely on ads or purely on content, so both of them work. However, you will definitely need one of these 2 aspects to actually scale your business on Instagram. And if we go further down the route, we can see that content means reels, carousels and stories to continue to nurture the leads that you already have or the followers that you already have. And ads are usually follower ads or direct to DM ads on Instagram. Continuing here, it's important to understand one thing. Once you have the whole system dialed in, it all becomes a numbers game, which means more leads is more profit. I do not want to go too deep into the psychology of how to create content or how to create ads in this video. However, obviously you need to create ads and content that resonate with your target avatar. So you need to create content that attracts the people that you want to attract towards your offer. But once you have that dialed and this full system working, the only thing that you really need to focus on is to get more leads, to push more content, get more views, and scale the ads. The whole purpose of this whole system here is so you can focus on the important parts of your business as a founder, which is in creating content and running the ads. And ads are even something that you can outsource. However, the content for the ads still needs to be you. And to be able to focus fully on the numbers and to be able to focus fully on the content and the ads, we have to build a system that helps us to automate all the rest of our sales process so we can actually take the time and energy to make the best content and best ads out there. Once the leads have seen your content or ads, our whole purpose is to bring them to your optimized Instagram profile funnel. And this is crucial, and that's why I have added 2 examples on the side. So whatever they have seen from you, is it a reel, is it a carousel, or maybe it's stories, or they have seen ads that are follower ads, the only purpose of all these lead generation methods is to bring them towards your Instagram profile. And this is very, very important. An Instagram profile these days, as I said, the optimized Instagram profile funnel basically replaces a landing page or a funnel that has been used for the last couple of decades. Now, clients we work with sometimes don't even have any funnel or website. They do everything from their Instagram page. And for this to work consistently, you have to have an optimized Instagram profile funnel. I've added 2 examples here to show you quickly what that actually means. These are 2 clients that we are working with at OmniFusion AI. So on the left side, we have Matthew. Shout out to you, Matthew, when you're seeing this video. He has a coaching program for knee recovery. And once you are on his Instagram profile, you pretty much instantly know what this guy does. It's even visible in his profile picture. So usually we say it should be a clear picture of your face. However, in his case, there is this exemption because this really shows how strong his knee is. You can see in the Instagram username that it says ACL Wonders because they are focusing on ACL tears, as you can see here. His name, Matthew Maloney. What he does, knee recovery. You can see that he has a lot of social proof, but this is not even necessary. He could have 10,000 followers and the same system would work exactly the same. He has his company page linked in the bio where people can consume more testimonials and transformations. He says exactly what he's doing. He had 5 surgeries, 3 ACL surgeries, and has helped over 1,600 people to recover their knee pain. Then you have a clear CTA. Click below to become an elite bulletproof athlete and one simple link in bio. If we go further down, you will see that the story highlights are perfectly structured here. You usually have a My Story highlight, you have a lot of testimonials, results, testimonials, and you also have what we do or what our business is about. I think that's this one here in this case. The next step is you have 3 pinned posts, and these posts usually follow the same framework. There is the realities about X or what we do or whatever. There is the realities about your niche or what we do at your business. Then there is one of the best testimonials or transformations that you have. And then you also have a My Story reel, because in his story, he can relate to all the leads he has because he had the same injury over and over again. And he was able to recover from it, even though the doctors told him he will never recover from them. And this is probably what most of the leads that come to his Instagram profile are facing as well. So this is the content they should consume. Once they come to your Instagram profile, we want them to consume as much content as possible, be it story highlights or reels, because this actually shows that you are the expert in the field, you know what this is about, and you have helped thousands of people already having the same issue that I'm currently facing as your lead. And this is exactly what we want. On the right side, you can see George Armstrong, who is a fitness coach. George, absolute massive guy. Shout out to you if you are watching this video. As you can see, this guy is massive, but putting that aside, you can clearly see George Armstrong, username is clear, name is clear, image is clear, and you can also see that this guy is in shape. He's saying in his bio, building elite high performers, apply for elite one-on-one coaching, so he clearly states what he's doing. He also has his business page linked, which is Physique Academy, where you can see hundreds of transformations and results and testimonials and all of this stuff that you need as a successful fitness coach, and the clear CTA, which in this case is DM me ready for more information. Then we also have one clear CTA in the link in bio, which is not even as important anymore these days. George could definitely do better with the story highlights. However, this story highlight already tells you everything that needs to be known. And continuing with the pinned post, we have the 9 facts about Physique Academy. As just said, this is the what we do. And then we have one reel where you can see how fucking massive this guy really is, which is perfectly triggering a comment automation where people comment fat loss under this post. So this creates engagement. And then you have client of the month, testimonials, and transformations, and so on. So as you can see, these are 2 very different Instagram profiles, but the framework is always the same. So once people land on your Instagram profile, it needs to be easy for them to consume the most important content and very easy for them to understand what they should do next. In this case, it's click below or DM ready. And why is there no DM CTA in his bio? Because he has the DM CTA in every single piece of content. So while people come to this profile and start consuming content, they might just use the keyword comment trigger from one of these posts. George is not using the comment trigger every single time in his content because he's more of an influencer type and also shares value without having CTAs. And that's why the CTA with the keyword is very important in his bio. And what both of them have in common is that they use this whole system that I'm teaching you right now, and both of them are doing way beyond 6 figures a month, so we know this works. And this was the whole attract step. Now we are getting more leads through content and ads towards our optimized Instagram profile funnel, and we tell them exactly what they need to do next. And our next step in the system is the connect step. The connect step basically means engaging those leads, and this can happen in 2 different ways. It can either happen through outbound DMs or inbound DMs, and both of them lead to a conversation. Outbound DMs could be DMs for new followers, story viewers, or commenters. And the cool part about this is that most of this can be automated already. Commenters could be automated already for a long time using ManyChat comment automations, and new followers can now be automated as well since like 2 months with the follow to DM feature from ManyChat. Story views is something that can still not be automated, and this is where we are using cheap VAs or a DM team to send out those DMs manually every single day because it's really high value to message your story viewers. The inbound DMs can be DM keyword, as we have just seen in George's account, DM ready for example. People see your bio and DM you a keyword, or it can be random inbound DMs like, hey, I need your help, hey, what is the pricing, hey, how do you work, hey, what do you offer? It can be anything, maybe just advice, or any random inbound DM counts as an inbound DM. And it's important to understand that the goal is to get as many conversations as possible. So as said before, once the system is installed, your whole responsibility as the owner and founder and face of a brand or a business is to create more content and run up those ads. You need to get more eyeballs one way or the other. And our secondary goal is all the people that come to the profile to get as many conversations as possible, because more conversations, more calls booked, more revenue, more profit. It's that simple. It's really just a numbers game once the system is installed. And this is something that most of the businesses out there are really doing wrong, and where they are leaving at least 20-30% of the revenue on the side because they simply do not do the simple step that actually increases revenue by doing nothing else than just following up with every single lead. If you're sending an outreach message either manually or with an automation and they do not respond back, you have to follow up. You have to follow up at least 2 or 3 times, because it's proven time and time again that people tend to reply back once you follow up with them once or twice or 3 times. This can increase your reply rate by 20 to 50%, which means you have 50% more conversations, which results in 50% more calls and 50% more revenue roughly. And who does not want more money by simply following up with all the leads? And not just for outreach, but also to ongoing conversations. Once you are in a conversation back and forth and someone stops replying to you, you have to consistently follow up with them after 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 2 days, 5 days, 80 days, 750 days. I don't really care when you follow up, but you have to follow up at least 2 or 3 times, because people are busy, people forget, and you have to just remind them that there was a conversation ongoing and they come back to the conversation so you can continue the setting process. And this is super important. And I can really understand why most coaches are not doing this correctly, because as of right now, people are tracking their outreach or their DMs somewhere in Google Sheets. Instagram inbox is not made to track these things. ManyChat and Go High Level do not have the feature of showing you follow-ups. And that's exactly why I'm going to tell you that you can use DM Tracker. I can quickly show you how that looks like. DM Tracker has a simple follow-up board. It connects to your ManyChat account and it shows you every single follow-up that needs to be done, and your team can simply go in here and do the follow-up. You can simply set up the stages yourself when you want to follow up and how often you want to follow up, and DM Tracker is going to handle all the rest and will show you all the follow-ups that are due here whenever they are due. Using a software like this helps you to never lose a single lead, and this software costs pennies compared to the leads you are getting. By using a tool like DM Tracker, you can see your outreach reply rate, also measure it by different outreach messages and reasons. However, what's most important is, as you can see, this client was able to get more than 1,200 extra conversations that only replied after we followed up with them. So this is basically free money that most other businesses out there are simply flushing down the toilet, and you should not do it. So go ahead, dmtracker.ai, and sign up and use that tool if you never want to forget a single lead again. Okay. Once we have engaged with the lead, either through an outbound DM or an inbound DM, what happens here is one of the most crucial aspects of your business, or at least of your sales process, and that is the appointment setting. There's really a lot more that goes into this, but this is a simplification. You qualify the lead and then you book them into a call. That's all we want to do inside of the DMs. And sometimes it's really just as simple as that. We simply want to find out, are they qualified? Is their intent high? Do they really want our help? And do they have money to pay us? If all the lights are green, then we simply ask them to book a call with us and someone will close them in the call. It's really as simple as that. And the appointment setting can happen in 2 different ways. There is the old way and the new way. And I'll explain you both of them and the pros and cons of both of those. The human appointment setters is something that is used for more than 10 years on Instagram now. And this is the most common approach. However, we are seeing this go down more and more over time. And the newer approach is the AI appointment setter. And there is a lot of advantages to it, but also a disadvantage. And I'm going to explain you both of them right now. So let's start with the human appointment setters. Human appointment setters are absolutely necessary when just starting off. Why? Because you do not know your script yet, you do not know the objections, you do not know the questions that your leads are having, you do not know which tone works best, and you need to figure all of these things out. And to do so, you either have to do the DMs yourself in the beginning, or you need a very capable appointment setter that figures it out while doing it. Because to actually scale to hundreds of sales calls per month, you will need to have a dialed-in script, a dialed-in tone, the objection handling framework, and the questions that your leads are going to ask, and so much more that you will just figure out if you do it yourself or someone from your team. So it's absolutely necessary for people who are starting off. Everyone who is below $25,000 in revenue per month should definitely do the DM setting themselves, or have an appointment setter to do so, who is also smart enough to write SOPs and scripts and adjust them over time, because you want to have a repeatable system. You do not want to have 3 people in your Instagram account and just tell everyone, yeah, just qualify the leads and tell them something. This is not going to work. You will just waste your money and burn everything down. Do not do this. So if you're just starting off, it's really necessary to work with a human team or do it yourself. However, it is becoming hindering once scaling to hundreds of convos per day. And the reasons are quite simple. Humans are slow and expensive, which is a bad combination overall. They also show inconsistent performance because of multiple things. This can either be because they have bad mood, they had a bad day, they didn't sleep well, something happened in their personal life that makes you and your business reliant on someone else's mood, which is something we obviously don't want. On top of it, if you have multiple appointment setters, it becomes really hard to match everyone to your superstar. Most businesses we work with usually have one appointment setter they really like, and then they have 2 or 3 other appointment setters that are underperforming usually. And the next biggest issue with a human appointment setting team while scaling your business is it's a struggle to find, hire, and train those appointment setters. It needs a lot of money, time, and energy to find them, to hire them, and to train them. And the biggest issue with this is if this would be a position where you know, okay, someone is going to handle this for the next couple of years, it could be worth it. However, appointment setters usually switch companies every 3 to 6 months. So it might be that you find someone, hire them, and train them for them to leave a month later, and then you just start all over again and you need someone else. And this is really a pain. And we have seen with companies scaling beyond $50,000 or $100,000 per month with an appointment setting team that consists of humans, this is one of the biggest pain points overall, because this is really annoying. And all of these reasons basically highlight that you are making the most crucial part of your sales process dependent on third-party appointment setters that are bound to mood, that need to sleep, that need to eat, and that are slow to reply in general. So this has worked very well for the past 10 years or more, and it can still work until a certain scale. And there's a second way of doing it, and this is kind of the new way. And this is by using an AI appointment setter, which has a lot of advantages. However, it is not useful when just starting out for the reasons just mentioned, because AI is only as good as the information you train it with. And if you have nothing to train it on, then the AI will not perform well and it will do some random shit, and nobody wants that. So once you have your script dialed in, your objection handling, your framework, your tone, your question and answer, all of these things dialed in, and you know what works with the leads that you are talking to, then it's really time to switch to AI, because AI is perfect for scaling to $100,000 and beyond per month. Because once you want to scale from $100,000 to $500,000, for example, you would need to 5x your appointment setting team inside of Instagram to do that. If you're just calculating simple math, and if you're booking 100 sales calls per month and you're making $100,000, for example, that means if you want to make $500,000 per month with the same close rate, you would need to book 500 calls per month. And the same amount of appointment setters will not be capable of booking 5 times the calls and having 5 times the conversation, because humans are simply limited with time, attention, and all the other things. So AI becomes perfect once you scale past $25,000 to $50,000, and it really shows its power once you scale to $100,000, $200,000, or $500,000, because sky is really the limit. Once you have an AI system in place, it's infinitely scalable, and that is one of the main advantages. Compared to humans, it's also fast. Always. We have all seen the studies that responding to a lead in less than 2 minutes increases the conversion rate by 391%. And now think to yourself, how fast are your appointment setters on average answering every single lead? I guess it's not 2 minutes or less. However, with an AI system that is always there 24/7, it's an easy task to answer to every single lead in less than 2 minutes. And this automatically increases the conversion rate compared to humans, which is something that is an unfair advantage, because humans will never be able to match this speed. On top of it, it's also very predictable and affordable. And when I say predictable, I mean the cost. Appointment setters usually take commission off the revenue. So if you're making $100,000, you might pay $5,000 to $10,000 to your appointment setters. But if you do $500,000, you might pay $25,000 or $50,000 to your appointment setters, which is the same percentage in commission. However, an AI appointment setting system is not scaling with the revenue. It's usually quite fixed in cost, so it becomes cheaper the more money you make. And on the other hand, it's also very predictable, because you know what it costs no matter what your revenue is going to look like at the end of the month. And from our experience, if you have more than one appointment setter in your team, AI is always the more affordable solution, obviously adding the other advantages to it. Next up is that you can expect consistent performance with every single lead. There is no mood swings, there is no nighttime, there is no I couldn't sleep well. None of it happens. If you train an AI well, it will always perform at 100% performance, no matter what day of the time, no matter how the weather outside is. It doesn't really matter. It will consistently perform excellent every single time with every single conversation, and it can also memorize every single conversation much better than a human can. If a human appointment setter is handling 100 conversations, what do you think, how much detail can he really remember from every single conversation to reflect back to the lead on the pain points that he has mentioned and all these other things? It's really, really hard to do for humans. But an AI has unlimited memory and can have unlimited conversations at the same time while remembering every single detail that the lead told us during the conversation. The main advantage here becomes that it's a one-time setup and it's infinitely scalable. So if you want to scale a human appointment setting team, if you go up with revenue, with ads or with content, you also need to go up with your appointment setting team. You need to hire a second one, a third one for the night shifts, then one for the weekends, and then you need an appointment setting manager so you don't need to manage them anymore, and the team just becomes bigger and harder to manage and more expensive, more overhead, more Google Sheets and all of this stuff. If you decide to have an AI appointment setter that is well trained and custom built for your business, it's simply just a one-time setup, set and forget, and then it's infinitely scalable. You can 10x your ads the other day and nobody really cares because your systems will continue to run without a single mistake. And at the end, everything we always want is freedom and no headaches or management. If you have the system in place, you do not need to manage people, you do not need to manage the payroll, you do not need to have a manager that overviews all of them, you do not have to call with them continuously, check if they're doing their job correctly, track times, track their statistics in Google Sheet. All of this stuff is basically gone if you have a fully automated system. As said, both of these systems have their place. This is better if you are below $25,000 and this is better if you're above $25,000. Roughly, definitely better if you want to scale. If you are at 25 and you want to scale to 100,000, this will be a better system than this one because this is continuously going to give you work and this is continuously going to deliver. And before we move on to the next step, I want to quickly mention here, if you want us to build your AI sales system, simply go to omnifusion.ai. I strongly believe there is no other team in the world that builds better AI appointment setters. I haven't seen a single one that is better than our system so far. It is custom built for your business and the most human-like AI that I have seen on the market. And yes, I know it's easy to say that if you are the founder of that company, but as you can see, I'm 100% convinced that this is true. And if you know an alternative that you think might be better, put it in the comments and I'm really happy to make a one-on-one comparison and post a video about it, showing everyone that we are the absolute market leaders when it comes to AI appointment setting inside of Instagram. And this conviction doesn't come from nowhere. We have done it more than 120 times in the last 2.5 years with large coaches on Instagram, and all of them are still happy clients of ours. So if you want the best solution for your high-ticket coaching business on Instagram, simply go to omnifusion.ai, apply to work with us, and who knows, we might end up in a call discussing your project. And now let's continue with the last and also very important step, that is the convert step. The convert step simply means booking the qualified leads into sales calls and making them show up. We have just discussed the appointment setting system, and the whole purpose of the human appointment setters or the AI appointment setter is to qualify the lead, build rapport, and book a call with them once they're qualified. And this call, this is very important, this call needs to be a value-based call. This means we're not telling them, hey, all sounds great, please come to my sales call so I can close you. Nobody wants to join a sales call. However, they will tell you their pain points, they will tell you why they're texting with you, they will tell you why they didn't solve that problem already and what they have tried before, and then it's your responsibility or your appointment setters or AI appointment setters' responsibility to say, hey, listen, so with everything you have said, it sounds like I can really help you out. Let's jump on a quick 15-minute roadmap call and I can show you exactly what the next steps are to get to your desired outcome, to fix your problem off, to lose weight, to get fitter, to do whatever. So it needs to be a value-based call. So people want to get value, and this call doesn't need to just be framed as a value-based call, but it should also be a value-based call. If you show them value in the call straight away, they're more likely going to choose your product and give you their money. So booking qualified leads, and then we want to make them show up. And this is where most businesses actually lack. So after booking the call, we cannot simply say, yeah, you're booked in, have a great day, see you next week. That's not how it works, because these are still cold leads that have booked a call with you. And what we're going to do here is we're going to continue to nurture them on WhatsApp or SMS and on email. So we want to continue to stay top of their mind to actually increase the probability of them showing up in the sales call. And to do that, it's quite simple. This is really not rocket science. This is so easy and it works every single time. We make automated systems that are also included, by the way, in our offer, but you can build them yourself as well, where we send automated WhatsApp and SMS messages depending on what works for them, and emails to stay top of mind. We want to make sure they understand that this call is important to them and it's going to be valuable to them and we want to continuously remind them about the upcoming call and make it as easy as possible for them to join. And for this, we're going to send them messages about the call confirmation straight away after booking. We will send them the call link to join shortly before the call. We're going to send this in WhatsApp, SMS, and email, so it's easy for them just to click a simple button and join the call. We're also going to send them call preparation content if we have any. This can be forms, this can be a questionnaire, this can be your desires and goals. Some clients do it, some clients do not. And we can send them testimonials and proof of people that are similar to them and how we made them successful in whatever they want to achieve. So we can continue to send them a case study a day or a testimonial a day. Hey, look, I just wanted to show you a video of Luke. He was in a very similar situation like you, and this is how we have helped him overcome that. Watch that short 60-second video to understand exactly how we helped him. Boom. They will watch the video. If they watch more content of yours, they are more likely to join the call. And after joining the call, they're more likely to actually buy from you. So this is what we want to achieve here, to increase the show up rate. And this indirectly also increases the closing rate. It's very important to make them excited for the call. And we usually target an 80% show up rate with our clients. Everything between 70 and 80% and above is good. Everything below 70% means something in your system is broken. And by the way, everything I showed you, besides creating the content and the ads, is 100% automated and infinitely scalable. So there is 0 humans needed for everything you have seen on screen so far if you have a system that actually scales with you. And once we have done all of this, the leads can now show up to the value-based closing call, and the next step is quite literally simple. We are closing the leads in a closing call. We usually target 30 to 40% closing rate, and I could make a whole video about the closing rates and what it means if it's higher and what it means if it's lower, because if the closing rate is higher, that's actually not always a good sign. However, we usually target the 30 to 40% closing rate. I believe that the best use case here is to use closers, because most of our clients are not the best salespeople. In the beginning, you can do the closing calls yourself, obviously, to figure out what actually works. However, as soon as you hit 40-50% closing rate yourself on those sales calls, you should definitely outsource them to professional closers. So this is basically the last thing that we need to do. We need to close them and collect the money, and then like this guy, we're just laying on top of a pile of cash and we are super happy. Not yet, because one last thing before I let you go. As you can see, there's also an arrow going out from here, because this whole system only works if you automate everything, so you can repeat this over and over and over and over again. And the main goal of this whole system is basically to automate DMs, the appointment setting, call booking, and the nurturing to make them show up. We want to automate this whole section so you as the founder and as the face of the brand can continue to focus on content and ads and getting more leads. And if the whole system is fully automated and you simply scale on this for weeks and months, what do you think how much you can scale your business? And this system is basically the rough outline of the system that we implement with every single client that we have. And the last step to actually scale your high-ticket business is to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I am putting out value as much as I can to help you scale your online business. And like in every video, I hope you learned something new. Let me know what you think of the system down in the comments. Is anything here new to you? Are you already doing everything I explained in this system or not? Where are you lacking? And if you're thinking to yourself, I need all of this, but I need someone who knows this shit to implement it, simply click the first link in the description, apply to work with us, and we might just end up in a call discussing your project. All of this can be dialed in and working inside of your business in the next 30 days. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.